Hi, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Sophie. We are in my kitchen today for a little requested video, which is a kitchen tour. Everybody who watches my thrift haul videos is like, where do you store everything? How do you have so much storage room for all of the things that you buy? And the truth is, I don't really. So today I'm going to show you my cute little kitchen. I'll show you some thrift finds that I've gotten over the past little while, and we'll have a little chat. We'll talk about life and stuff. If you wanted a latte at home, you can froth your milk in a Belgium. I'll give you a close up here. Oh, the bottom isn't good for latte art, but there we go. Oh yeah, here we are in my cute little kitchen in my Montreal apartment. I do really love this kitchen. It has a lot of old features still, like these cabinets and the floors. There are things that come with an old apartment that aren't so great, but you know, it's worth the charm. It's worth the charm of these cabinets and the creaky, beautiful wooden floors. I have a very classic Montreal apartment. It's long and skinny and there's double rooms. So this is a kitchen, dining room, sort of as one room. And then there's a bedroom, living room as one room, but no real doors actually in the whole place other than the bathroom. Here is the main area of the kitchen. These are the built-in cabinets. Those are the only built-in cabinets that exist. This is essentially like the garbage recycling random jar situation, which is an eyesore. So I need to get a little curtain to hang here. Thinking a little striped curtain. This has all been built out by the person who previously lived here. So all of this sort of counter space was built around the stove. Very DIY, but pretty awesome. This is like my little coffee tea corner. Got the KitchenAid, got the essentials, got the sugar, got the flour. Then if you watched my previous videos, you saw that I bought this at a thrift store, and it's the top of a toolbox, and I wanted to convert it into a little spice rack, which I have. And I've found different little jars that fit in here. So I'm very pleased with this project, one that I've actually completed, one of the few. As you can tell, I like trinkets, I like thrifting, I collect things. So I have like so many little cute things that add character and that are sentimental, or things that I just love. So for example, like these little salt and pepper shakers, those were my grandma's. Edible plants in the wilderness. I love foraging. I love nature. I just like having that there as a little motif. This cutie, just little things. This beautiful shell oyster that I found that has like all these other little oysters in it. This is a photo that I took in New York. A plant that had been ditched but that still had blossoms on it, and I thought it was cool. And then I have this big mirror here that is sort of faded. I love that look. Found that on the street. Popped her on this shelf. It opens up the room a bit, I find. And then I have my little trinkets in here, another oyster shell. This cute wine label, post-flirtation. All my kitchen utensils, shallots and garlic. This zone, I don't know how I feel about it right now, but that's what she's looking like. Okay, this is a recent marketplace find. This kettle, I think it's a vintage IKEA kettle. It's missing the little nozzle that would make it whistle, but who cares? And then behind me here, went to an antique market in Mexico City and found this gorgeous photo. Sort of matted it with this green fabric behind. And then I also got this little key at the market and I hung it on there, although it's not really hanging the way I'd like it to. But I'm really happy with this addition here. Okay, this space in here, I have a dream of transforming into like a long sort of spice and dry goods rack that would pull out on wheels from in here. So we'll see if that ever materializes, or if anybody, if I can commission anybody to do that, that would be cool. Then here we have the kitchen island, which honestly holds a big bulk of all of my kitchen things. So many bowls and plates and things live up here. And then down on the bottom, I have like pots and pans, bowls, random beets and bulbs, a cutting board that really needs to be oiled, and then the dining room is right there, and my fridge. That is the kitchen. I do love this open shelving here, so I have most of my glassware displayed. And these big cupboards, bottom shelf, mug collection, and then it's kind of dry storage all the way up on the left here, which I'm open to suggestions. You know, I don't think that this kitchen's set up perfectly by any means, but this is what I have. This is where I landed. This side is also like all dry storage, spices. This top shelf definitely is not being utilized to its full potential. There's a lot of space up there, and nothing good is happening in that region. But here I have like all of my spices and nuts and seeds, honey, lots of spices. So that's what we have in there. Let's see if there's any thrift finds that I haven't shown you yet in here. I see one, I see two. These are cute little green glasses that were actually a gift for my birthday. And like very unique. I haven't really seen anything quite like this before. This really cute cup glass that says Montreal is for lovers. So cute. And then a little collection of little like cocktail picks. So these two, this purple and red one, I actually got these at a free store on a Gulf island where I'm from. Very cute. I love these. And then I got these three little ones, which I'm obsessed with. There's two rhinos and a hippo. Little cocktail picks. I got them at like a antique bazaar in Montreal. Love popping one of these in an olive. Have I shown you these before? I don't know. Simple, but they have a cute little blue squares on them. So yeah, here are my giant tall cupboards. I love these. The things that the thing I don't love is this sink area, but I've made peace with it. This countertop needs to be replaced. It's got some mildew mold situation, so that is going to be replaced soon, I hope. This is an ugly dish rack. The sink, essentially it's just like stuck in this corner. It's under this. It's a very small sink, which is quite difficult for somebody like me, but we make do. It also, like the pressure that comes from here, just it sprays everywhere. It's always getting on your feet. But you know what? It's almost been a year that I've been getting to know her, and I make do, you know? It's not the worst thing in the world. I also have like my toaster Vitamix on this counter, and then there are drawers. There's the cutlery drawer. There's the random kitchen utensil drawer. And then under here in these cupboards is like, honestly, it's a mess. Okay, another thing about these cupboards is that they don't stay shut. This one, there's a magnet installed, so that's the only one that actually closes. These ones I have shut with an elastic band. But in here is like, I have to rearrange it, but you know, oil, vinegar, tin foil, plastic wrap, different like dry good things that wouldn't mind getting a little bit wet when the sink leaks under here. So there's other equipment like a pasta sheeter, food processor, gloves, containers, knife stone. Ooh, that's really messy. That's just garbage bags and soap and things like that. So, as I mentioned before, this kitchen island provides a lot of the storage, and I'm just noticing that, like, I don't know if you can tell, but it's literally warping because maybe I have too much stuff on it. So the kitchen island, though it's not aesthetically like my favorite piece in the kitchen, it is very functional. It holds so much equipment. It's where I chop everything, prep everything. There's 2 bar stools, and when I entertain or just like, you know, if anybody's over, this is where they're sitting on these cute little green stools, also a marketplace find. And it's just kind of perfect. It's like open to the whole kitchen. You're hanging out. That's the dining room right there. So it flows really well. Fridge, I keep all my old menus from different events and pop-ups that I've done, or if I've gone to a restaurant that I love, I'll keep the menu. This one's from Pilgrim, which is a beautiful restaurant on Galliano Island. What else do we have? This one from Gem in New York, which I don't think exists anymore. My favorite restaurant in Victoria, Endive. Picture me and my sweetie. Love this picture of this woman with a chicken on her head. So that was mandatory for the fridge. And then I have a lot of plants going on in the kitchen. They're growing out of control here. And it is springtime, so guess what? These little plants, starts, are coming up really nice. We'll plant some more together in a bit. It's kind of a cool painting that I found at the thrift store. I struggled to find a spot to put it. I feel like it doesn't really match my apartment, but I do really love it. I could frame it, I guess. This is a really cute tiny duck lamp that I got on Etsy, and I want to put it on a shelf here. Yeah, this shelf that I've mentioned and that I've had sitting around for like a year and a half. I haven't put it on the wall, but you can see here that I attempted to, okay? But it wasn't successful. I didn't get the right hardware. So once that shelf is up, ooh, so yeah, that little duck lamp will go on there. I want to get some art printed to go above that shelf, and I'll show you what the art will be. So I have this little cookbook called La cuisine au fil des saisons, so cooking with the seasons, and it was something that I recuperated from my grandma when she passed away, and this cookbook is so cute. And then, I don't know, it's kind of funny. She had all these little things cut out. Raisin cake with citrus, délicieux chocolat, pressure cooker instructions, how to poach an egg. So I love that I have this. Okay, this is awesome. Oh my god, this is so cute. I don't even know if I've fully looked at this. It's like an envelope that's been cut up, and she's written a recipe on here, and it's an old letter that was sent, and then she's using it to put all the little clippings of recipes. Well, okay, there's like 4 different recipes for raisin cake. Can't say I'll be making that one. Peaches with white cheese. So sorry, I got sidetracked there by all these little cutouts. Let me show you the illustrations in here because they are stinking cute. Little balls of ice cream lady. So cool, these fish. So I have to pick one to get printed and framed and put above that shelf. I really love the fish, but like, what? Are you kidding? Ugh, how good. Anyway, as you can tell, ooh, I love all of the drawings in it. Like what? This sausage eating cherries? So that is my plan for what is gonna go here. This shelf, after a year and a half of having it sitting around, this shelf is gonna go like so. Then I'm gonna get one of those cookbook pictures printed, big, framed, and then I'm not sure what else will go on here. That little duck lamp, and obviously a bunch of other things. This little hook is where I have all of my aprons. Okay, so seamlessly moving from the kitchen into the dining room. Love the open concept. Excellent for hosting. The table with 4 chairs and a bench, so that can comfortably sit 6 for a dinner party. Wool blanket here if anybody gets cold at dinner. That fan is obviously really ugly, but I can't get rid of it, so. And then in the dining room is another piece of furniture that I purchased in order to help house all of my items, which is this giant thing. I got this on Facebook Marketplace and rented a U-Haul truck to pick it up, and there was 3 of us, and we couldn't actually bring it up to my apartment. I had to hire people to bring it up because it's so goddamn heavy, but this is honestly really big and holds a lot of things. And then under here is like the uglier stuff. We have huge bowls, things that I use for catering, like bigger platters, more containers. This is the top of it. I have this mirror up here that does not look good on this piece of furniture, so I either have to paint it or just get rid of it entirely, but it is quite big and it opens up the room. Again, what do we have up here? We have some vinegars that I made in September. Tomato leaf vinegar, marigold vinegar, and nasturtium vinegar. And then in here, you'll probably recognize some items from previous thrift hauls. So, you know, storage, there's a dehydrator back there. Some more thrift items that you have not seen yet. These cheese knives, which were also a gift. Very cute selection of cheese knives here. These swans were also a gift. They're cutlery rests. I don't think I've shown these yet. Dinner plates that are pretty nice. They're brown. They have a nice shape. They're kind of like browny purple, but I really love these. Got 9 of them. Who's coming over for dinner? I got some Christmas gifts, thrifted Christmas gifts. A little butter dish that matches a vase that I have. My mom got me this cute little like sugar, tea, salt, pepper set. Okay, it's kind of hard to see, but I have this sketch that my friend Kate did of a lady holding her big bazookas. Sorry about the reflection. These chairs I got in Montreal off Marketplace from a restaurant that was switching out their seating. That table was free on Marketplace. This cute farm bench I actually got off of a farm. And got a little sheepskin there. Both the lamp and the little stool that it's on were found for free on the side of the road. I actually just painted this stool last weekend and I like it. I feel like the blue was supposed to be lighter in color, but that's what we ended up with. We have this mirror, also from the church sale. This little corner has one of my guitars, and then I found this really cute little box recently at the thrift store. Inside this mirrored box, I just have some guitar accessories. And then I framed this Audrey Beardsley picture. So that's the guitar corner. And then, oh yes, we have an old milk. What is this called? An old milk thing here in the corner. And then all of my cookbooks are here. They're very outdated. Cookbooks are quite expensive. So I don't have that many new ones. Look at this, Gordon Ramsay. I think I got that in a free pile. But you know, we got fermentation books. Love this book, Mezcal. Potato, a classic. Anyway, don't judge me off my cookbook collection because she's old. This is another photo that I took in New York City that I love. I was in Mexico for 10 days. We were in Mexico City for a week and then the beach for a few days. And during the time that we were in Mexico City, we went to an antique market and that's where I got that picture I showed before. And then I also got a few other cool things. This, which is actually just like it used to have a tile in it, I guess, and it was a trivet. I thought it looked really cool, and so I'm gonna make something to put in here and use it as a frame to put in the kitchen, an old trivet in the kitchen, kind of like that idea. I got these, I don't know what these are called, but they're the little points that go on cowboy boots. And they have a horse silhouette, and they have these like intricate etchings on the metal that I love. So I'm gonna mount them in a frame on some black leather. Another project for me. And then I got these weird little spoon and fork combo. I think that they're like antique baby cutlery, and they have a really weird shape to them and a cute little bear on the end, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. Maybe I will also use them as a display and put them on the wall. I have a few more seeds to plant for the impending spring that seems to be taking a long time to start up here in Montreal. So I'll plant out some seeds with you and give you a little life update. All right, let's plant some stuff together. I already planted quite a bit of stuff last week, and it's all coming up quite nicely, I gotta say. Some are looking a bit leggy. Anyway, I have way more seeds and not a lot of space on my patio, but there was just a couple more things that I wanted to plant out, mainly mouse melons. These, if you haven't seen them before, they look like mini watermelons, but they taste like a cucumber, and they're super stinking cute, and I think that they'll just make me happy. I am well aware that I have not posted a video in a very long time, and every time I have since last June, it's been like me saying that my camera's broken and that I'm really busy, and I'm actually shocked that I was able to record this video because my camera has been broken, and then even got taken to the shop and was there forever. And then once I paid for it and it was returned back to me, it still wasn't working. And so I don't really know what the problem is, but now it's working. Now we're recording. Now we're on, people. So that is cool. And hopefully I will be making more videos for y'all if you even care about me anymore. In terms of a life update, so a short little background on me. I live in Montreal. I'm from the West Coast though. I'm from Vancouver Island. I'm a chef. I've been working in restaurants forever since I was 19. I've worked front of house, I've bartended, I've done pretty much every position in kitchens, but I'm passionate about food and have been working in the kitchen for a very long time now. And then I've been the head chef at 2 restaurants. One of them was in New Zealand, in Raglan, and the other one was in Victoria. I was the chef at Nourish, and I love growing food. I've worked on several farms, and working on farms is how I found my passion for food, and that connection to growing things and eating seasonally and caring for plants and caring for others. So that is sort of where it all started and where it continues. So growing food and herbs and plants and flowers is something that makes me really happy and feels good for the planet, feels good for my soul. Anyway, I moved to Montreal at the end of 2022, and I was burnt out from working in restaurant kitchens. So I embarked on a bit of an entrepreneurial journey. YouTube was one facet of what I was doing. I also tried out private chefing and catering. And so I have been doing that for the last couple years, and I love it, but it's also been really tough to be a solo entrepreneur, and to be very honest, with no sort of money behind me or no like business plan or loan or, you know, so I've been making it up as I go, and I'm very proud of myself for everything that I've accomplished. But essentially over the winter, this past winter, it just got to a point, you know, things aren't moving very much in the winter in Montreal in terms of work and things, and people like hiring you for catering. So it was a tough winter financially, and you know, I was kind of reassessing and got to a point where I couldn't really do it anymore. And I also, it's like a very lonely thing doing all of this on your own. And so I decided to apply at some restaurants and work in some kitchens and learn from other people, and working in a restaurant with cuisine that I had never made before. That was an exciting and also emotional decision. Right now I am working at a restaurant. It's been a few weeks since I've started doing that. My goal is to continue to do some catering and some private chefing jobs if they align. You know, now I have the stability of a paycheck, which is pretty nice. And it's just nice to be back in a kitchen and to be learning from people and be back in that flow. So that is what I have going on professionally. For all my entrepreneurs, my cooks, my chefs, my solo entrepreneurs, it's really tough out there. Now we're gonna plant some basil and some chamomile. You know, on these little patios, I've tried to grow vegetables before. It doesn't really work. And also the squirrels just destroy everything. So I'm sticking to more flowers, herbs, and tomatoes, like cherry tomatoes. I have some jalapenos. I really encourage anybody, even if you don't have an outdoor space, to just grow a herb on your windowsill. It really does something. Okay, now we're gonna do parsley. And it may seem daunting to plant your own seeds, so if you have never grown anything before, just go buy a plant. All right, what do we got here? We got mouse melon, basil, persil. Can you see how small these seeds are? These are mint seeds. Like, how magical that this tiny little thing contains so much life. Don't look at how dry my hands are. I hope that this little tour satisfied your curiosity about where I house all of my items and my little kitchen paradise here. So, thank you for watching. And if you do live in Montreal, you can follow me on Instagram. That is where I post whenever I do pop-up dinners, or for when we do another Pansy Cafe pop-up. Come get your cardamom buns. As always, like, subscribe, share. Take care, everybody. Thank you.